Let's see who's first in chat. Say it's Stevie. What's up, buddy? Gonna do some heat treating today. June the 4th is rapidly sneaking up on me. I got plenty of time if I can keep working. As long as I stay at it. Oven's, that's right, DH, you're first, you're last. Oven's heating up, so I got some knives here. Do some rough shaping on some handles while I'm waiting on it. We're gonna do crew wear and magna cut today. I'm gonna have a whole nother day of heat treat for the Nitro V. So that's where we'll be. There's Marco. Stevie beats you in here today, Marco. Give you a run for your money. Get my gloves on. Gotta go to the bandsaw. What all you fine fellas doing this beautiful morning? It is a beautiful morning in Alabama. Absolutely gorgeous outside. That bandsaw sucks. Poo-poo weather. I'm sorry, Nick. I can't say I feel your pain, though. It's beautiful in the south right now. mean, it's a little muggy, but we get used to that. Muggy's part of living here. It's part of living here. Alright, that's got that one rough shake. On to the next one. Oven is at 1184 degrees. So she's still got a little ways to go. We got some light work we can do while we're waiting. Oh dang Ross. Yes, these two knives are identical, by the way. Wait to get these done. These actually aren't cleaned yet. Somebody needs to own them. Back to the bandsaw. Check that shirt out, look. Look like Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Actually, since we're on the subject of Scarface, say hello to my little friend. Can't touch that during a live stream. That'll get you in trouble. Put my damn mask on. But I'm in a well-ventilated area, Stevie. It's nice and open. I've actually broke my 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 filter mask. Where you lock the filter on, it snapped. I ain't doing much with this though. I'm almost done. I got it blowing down. I know none of those are acceptable OSHA uses. But I do gotta get me a new mask. I got a lot of sanding coming up soon. Definitely reporting this to OSHA. Yeah, I'm sure I should, Ross. A dust collection system would be nice. In case y'all think I'm bullshitting though, I'll show you. This part right here broke. It won't hold the filter on anymore. Got a couple holes to drill. Does the other one need drilled too? Hey, yippee. All right. That'll be coming soon. They look way better cleaned up, but ain't quite there yet. Yeah, problem is, Stevie, I can't tie a bandana around my face. I'm sure there's some out there that are big enough, but just your standard Walmart, that red bandana, it will not go around my head. It'll touch, but there's not enough left on the ends to tie it. But I will. I'll either get another one of those or at least get an N95. But that's all the dust creation I have to do today. Oven's at 1367. So we're getting there. I can get a bath towel around my face. Yeah, Kyle. Smart ass. Hey, y'all making me feel like Patina Turner's in here today. Oh, Mama Patina getting on to me. And I got a third one right here. That same style, my homestead. With a little different color handle. It'd be this color. Well, if you can see, there's blue and purple in there. Yep, I gotta get this one glued on. Then it just has to sit there overnight. So it's nice to have work like that. You can do a step, walk away, forget about it for the rest of the day because there's nothing you can do to it. Just have to let it sit there and cure. Well, I did not want to come do this today. Well, I wanted to come do this. I just didn't want to get up. But I sure am glad I did. I'm always glad I did once I do it. But I guess the stars kind of aligned because the way I slept yesterday, I knew there was no chance of me sleeping all day today. Oh, crap. Hang on. I'll be right back there. Sorry about that. I forgot you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just clamping down these scales so they can be curing while we're doing some heat treat here in a minute. That really is kind of the longest part too, is waiting on the oven. Everybody tells me it should reach temperature a lot faster than it does, but I mean, I didn't buy the most expensive heat treat oven. I just got one to go to 2200 degrees, but everybody I've talked to said that shouldn't take like 10, 15 minutes. And it usually takes 30, 45 minutes for it to get up there. It holds it pretty well. But it takes a little while to climb. Hey, I got it back on there. Huh. Maybe I can use it. At least this way I don't have to go get a bath towel. Fucking asshole Kyle. I can see through it. Now I know why it came with a bag. It came with a bag because it gets dirty very easy. Look. Well, have an old one, I guess. Well, I can't see shit. This lens is dirty. I just remembered I do have a little bit more grinding to do while we're waiting on that. Not much. I'll go ahead and knock it out. I'm glad I tried that. Last time I tried, I couldn't get this filter but to go back on. Thought I was going to have to buy a whole nother mask. So that's nice. I love this colorway. It's probably my favorite by far. I've got some more of it coming. I forgot to announce that though. Hang on, I got some good news about this stuff. Anyway, I've mentioned several times about how much I like this scale material. I love the look of it, but I can't imitate this. It's really unfair to be showing it right now because you're not getting a real feel for it because it's not finished. But Mike Navarro at Outcast Blanks, I asked him about making it, and he said he didn't think he could, but I guess he did some experimenting, and not only did he nail it, I think it looks better than this. So I now have it. I'll be able to get this look U.S. sourced. Yay for USA. That one belongs to Bama Knife Wife down in Tuscaloosa. That's the last of the original batch. But we're fixing to heat treat some here in just a few minutes. Let's see where the oven's at. We'll see what that temperature is now. Like we're at 1580. I'll take it another 15 minutes to get up there. Oh, I really don't have know if I've got anything to do while I wait on it. Go admire my new optic right there. Can't wait to sight that thing in. I still haven't figured out how to stop the phone calls when I'm live. I'm old, you know, so I get at least 5 calls a day about my Medicare Plan C. To show y'all the layout, I've already got all my foil packets done. I have them marked with what steel's in it. There's empty screwware heathen. You can see I've got all this crewware and this Magna cut I want to get done today. And then all this Nitro V I'll do on another day. And I do have the dry ice. I've not put the dry ice in the denatured alcohol yet. That's always cool to watch. You get to see it fog up and everything. So that part's still coming. I usually don't do it till I start my first cycle. There's no point in sit there warming up. That's a broad statement for dry ice, but there's no point in losing that cold when it's not doing anything yet. I've lost this piece of scale material. I bought them as a pair. All I can find is this one. Can't be my fault. Kyle could tell you how awesome organizational skills are. Top notch. They are top notch. I just don't see it. I don't know what I did with it. I guess I just lost it. I reckon. It don't be here. So Sound like said Stevie snuck up behind me. I didn't know I had any of this left. This stuff is beautiful, but it's garbage. That's some forest green G10. Oven's at 1640. Again, we're waiting on 1950 when we put our first packets in. Then we'll dump the dry ice, get ready for cryo. See if I can find me a spitter. As said Stevie likes to call it. Oh, spitter. Yeah, I keep thinking that, Nick. I've looked for it several times. Well, I know it's here. It's not like I would have carried it off anywhere. But I'm not having any luck finding it. For those of you who tuned in just to see heat treating, I apologize. There is heat treat coming. We're waiting on the oven to warm up, so. Which GEC's up, Mimo? I own the only GEC I think I'll ever want. Hi, Giovanna. How are you? A few different ones. I thought they just released one at a time. But I'm not a big GEC guy, so I wouldn't know. Probably gone in 20 minutes. Yeah, probably so. What would you guys pay for a GEC, your favorite style GEC, with say, insert still here, S45, S125V, something like that. What do you think that would be worth for a GEC with a super high end blade steel? MagnaCut, K390. Favorite hunting gun? I'm a big fan of 308. I think 308 will kill anything in the continental United States. So that's crazy, Mimo. I don't think the tariffs are going to last very long, buddy. I mean, neither country can really afford it. I don't think it's going to last. I think it was all just a bargaining tool. Most I would pay would be like 215. It's very exact, Drew. Very exact number. I think they're about that now, though, aren't they? In 1095. If I'm mistaken. Strong arm tactic, yeah. But I mean, we have been done wrong on the side of trade for 216. No way, I'm out. That shit better have free shipping too, Hundred. Yeah, Mimo, I get that. I enjoy the slip joint I have. Uh, I would not be comfortable settling on it being my only pocket knife, though. I think everybody here knows if I had to settle on one pocket knife for the rest of my life, it'd be a Mannix. Ryan, that was my favorite slippy was my ABW. I sold it to raise some money for You know, Michael Martin, the guy that owns ABW, lives right there around Asheville, North Carolina. They had a lot of neighbors, and he's a deacon at his church. Had a lot of church members. A lot of people lost everything, so I sold mine and sent the funds to Michael to help those folks out. So maybe I'll have one of these days. Yeah, Manage 2 is a hell of a knife. Hear me out. Your jumbo and Magna Cut. I mean, yeah, that'd be cool, I guess. But the Yo Jumbo's already come out in a couple of cool steels. I mean, it came out in S90V, which is a fairly fragile steel, and that knife already has a very fragile tip. So maybe the Magna Cut would toughen it up some. Memo says too fragile. I don't know if it's too fragile. What would you recommend, Memo? I mean, in all honesty, the best steel to make the Yo Jumbo out of would be Nitro V or ABL because they're insanely tough. But then you'd lose some edge retention. And at that thin, that fine a tip, I don't even know. I don't know if the payoff would be worth it, like for the amount of toughness you'd add back to that tip. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant, Mimo. Yeah. I tried to make a Yo Jimbo esque fixed blade. And the thing I think we're forgetting is that the Yo Jumbo is kind of an ugly knife to begin with. And it doesn't translate to a fixed blade any better. It's still ugly. Well, there's no half empty. Auntie, we're waiting on the oven to heat up, buddy. First knife going in is your heating. I just showed it to him. Yeah. Everybody got all crazy about that micro jumbo. I am not a fan. I get it. It added some toughness back to the blade going flat ground. But in all honesty, that was really the only thing cool about the Yo Jumbo. The shape was ugly. The hump was in the handle was in the, everything was wrong except that hollow grind. And then they took the only thing that made that knife interesting to me away from it. I didn't wake you up today, Empty. That was yesterday. But you're welcome. I could have. I've been up since I just woke up on my own at 6 o'clock this morning. But I slept entirely too much yesterday, so it kind of prepared me for this. Let's go see where the oven be. I'd like to get this show rolling because it's gonna be an all-day event, man. For you, those of you who've been here for Heat Treat before, you know what I mean. My first day, I did about 10 blades. I was here for 10 hours. I was not prepared for that. We're at 1740. So she's still ramping up. I got to adjust the time too. You guys saw how long that took. I may have spent 30, 40 seconds changing that program, and it lost 80 degrees. 80 degrees of heat. Should have done that to begin with. And that's what takes so long is each pair of knives I put in there take a half hour to soak. But then it takes 20 minutes for it to heat back up enough to put the next pair in. So that's what's up with that. Show you guys again for those who weren't here. I've got all my packets laid out. I didn't film making these. This is 309 stainless foil marked crewware. But cut these out, put the knife in, double crimp all three sides. What you're doing there is as soon as it goes in there at 1900 degrees, it immediately burns all the oxygen out of that full pack. So it keeps the blade from oxidizing. You don't want oxidization on your heat treated blade. Some folks put a piece of paper in there so the piece of paper catches on fire and burns the oxygen up faster, but after lots of testing, nobody has found it to be advantageous. You've been cutting apples with what, Crispy? Yes, Kyle has the goon. I think it's pretty. He told me when he was going to ship it, and I don't remember. He had schedule though. Yeah, Nick, kind of the same way. It just sucks all the oxygen out. Oh, your bullbuster. Yeah, that's the only slip joint I own right now. I keep it old though. I don't want to act like I use it and it patinaed because I haven't used it for anything. I sent it to Kyle. He put a razor edge on it. Now I just keep it. I just keep it old. What's up, Braden? Welcome. We're trying to heat treat some knives, but we're waiting on the oven to warm up. You'll have the heathen for you ever hear back from somebody else. That's a damn shame, man. You know, it pisses me off too, Empty, but I'm still going to go in June just because I've promised so many other people I would be there. But that's just shit business. I appreciate that, Braden. Kind of boring watching an old fat bald head man sit in a chair right this minute, head on upside down. Dano, this head's so big, dude. You could turn it any direction and it still look funny. Head on upside down. Hi, bro. Can you say Asu? Sure, I said it. Hey, equals sales for you from him. Helps you out. That's what's important. Yeah, that's right. I'm up to around 80 slip joints. Wow. Only kidding. Dano, I've been got with all the. Can you give a shout out to my cousin? Whatever. I've said I don't embarrass easily, dude. I'll just read them. I don't care. I can't imagine owning 80 slip joints, but I mean, if you got a passion for it, I get it. Hell, I owned 130 knives, pocket knives at one point in time, and all but probably 10 of those were Chinese budget knives. That made even less sense. Yeah, I guess in the right price range they are, Mimo. I can see that. A little embarrassed. It's hard for me to turn this camera on when I ain't got my teeth in. But it's something I'm gonna have to deal with anyway. Either quit making videos or get over it. But after I had my heart surgery, my arteries were in such bad shape. I don't have any blood flow to my jawbone, so I'm gonna lose them all eventually. I'm surprised that hasn't happened already. Drew, that's probably about where I'm at, 10 to 12. As far as like what I would actually carry every day, I've probably got a knife for every day if I wanted to. That's really it. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? Done with the dentist. Well, Stevie, I will be when this comes around. They're gonna have to take them all. One of my top ones is starting to turn a little crooked, so I know it's gonna come out before long. It's just embarrassing as hell. But part of life, I guess. I'll give me some brand new, made in China, plastic ones. Yeah. 10 mini. I'll make you some. I bet you would. You'll make me some beautiful hardwood teeth. Hell yeah. I just walk around chomping them all day just to hear it. Clack, 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 clack. Sell them to you on EDC Roundtable. Yeah. Talk about EDC. That would be an everyday carry. I always have my teeth in on Sunday. But for these vertical, when I'm working, I just can't do it. Yeah. That's the only bad thing, Crispy. My VA coverage won't pay for them, so I'm gonna have to handle that on my own. Well, hello, Fur Mix from Singapore. How are you doing today? I know this just looks like an old fat ugly guy sitting in a chair, but we really are going to heat treat some knives. We're waiting on the oven to warm up. I think that's horseshit. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I could lie, you know, about some of my stuff being service connected and get my rating up high enough and they would cover my dental. But I just think there's a special place in hell for people that lie about that kind of stuff. We're all a little broken here. You're right, Nick. I think the hardest broken you can be is when you get to that age where you realize you're not what you were. Well, this is a very random one you picked, Fur Mix. I typically work on knives, make knives on these live streams, and we are today. But like I said, I'm waiting on the oven to heat up. Probably lasts another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, Crispy. I think you have to have 30% for it to cover dental. But and I probably legit do have that. I've just never filed for it. I've got enough that. Hey, I think I met you on Discord for minors with adults. I don't think that was me, Rocky. I think you got me mistaken. Is this a Jesus live stream? No, sir. I mean, you could make it a Jesus live stream if you want to. Yeah, this is a nice ass shop. It doesn't belong to me. It's my best friend Meatheads, and he allows me to make knives here. But he's been doing some wrench turning in here lately. It's a Jesus live stream. I would rather my taxes go to your teeth than half the shit. Yeah, no kidding. Snap-on, Matco, Cornwell, which uh, Ghost of Pier, Ghost of Pier. When I was a mechanic for 25 years, and I'd say 90% of what I owned was Snap-on. But that's mostly because, like, at that point in time, Cornwell and Matco, they couldn't keep drivers on routes around here. So if it's not dependable, I just wouldn't mess with it. You look like me, Jelly Bean from Rick and Morty. Thanks, man. I never actually watched Rick and Morty. I was a big Squidbillies fan, but I never watched Rick and Morty. Let's go check this oven. See if we're warmed up yet. I wish I had an alarm on it. That would be really nice for me. It probably does. But, touch screen and buttons. It's all a little complicated for me. 1850. Well, we're getting close. We is getting close. We'll be heat treating before you know it. I got my little timer over here. I guess I need to refamiliarize myself with it because I really don't remember how to use it. Well, that was easy enough. Got it set to 30 minutes. I use the same crewware heat treat protocol that Alex Steingraber, Brian Kim, Steve Clory, just about everybody uses the same. It's 1950 degrees for 30 minutes. Take it out, put it in cryo for at least an hour. I usually go a little longer than an hour. It doesn't help to go any longer. It just takes me longer to, anyway. But, and then from there, 300-degree temper usually gets me up in the high 64s. Sometimes I'll hit 65. Not the best, not the most ideal heat treat for toughness. Still pretty tough. But great HRC for edge retention though. You're right, Nick. And that's one thing I learned very quick. You cannot believe everything you read on Google. They just, I'm a firm believer that they just post bullshit on there to try to fuck you up, hoping somebody will fall for it. Because there's so much untruths about heat treat on Google. Just ridiculous. Well, since we're getting close, I'll go get the dry ice and we'll add it to our denatured alcohol. That's always fun to watch. Let me get the camera on here. That's it right there inside this bucket. Let me go get the dry ice. I'll be right back. This is a 7-pound block of dry ice. Publix is $28. And you know, if you can't preserve it, it turns into a gas. But it will keep this denatured alcohol well below zero for a few hours. Can you see it smoking? Using my Spyderco Pair 3 with my said Steveward Lynch Northwest clip. If you ain't got one, why you gay, get you one. Here we go. I'll be honest, that came out a little faster than I planned. The bag ripped. It was not my intention for it to go that fast. But I guess it looked good on camera. So there's that. Now I have a freaking mess. Well, we're at 1908, so we'll be heat treating here shortly. Did y'all like that? Was that theatrical? Really trying to make a splash. I actually was not trying to, but damn did I. Just so you can see what's going on in there. Just bubbling like hell. Yeah, there's still big chunks of it all in there. That's good. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Probably the cleanest this table will ever be. I think I'll refrain from any open flames for the next little bit. Let's see where the oven's at. We're at 1930, y'all. We're almost there. I'm gonna change this camera angle so y'all can see inside the oven when I open it. Sorry about that. You know, Kathleen, I'm not sure. I will look around while I'm thinking about it. See if there's one here. I don't even know if you can start a fire in that much carbon dioxide. But it wouldn't hurt to know. I don't see one. He's got a fire extinguisher. I don't know where it is. Yeah, there's one. I see it over there. I'll go get it. Just to have it handy. Let's set the camera down and grab that fire extinguisher just in case. She's charged and full. It's already evaporating. 1945, we're almost there. I'm gonna help this evaporate a little bit. All right, we're there. Here, our first one's put in. First in is empty as heathen. If the screen goes up in a big ball of light, y'all know something really bad happened. Somebody forgot to wear their gloves. That was dumb. Wouldn't think you'd need it from that far away, but 2,000 degrees. You most certainly do need it. All right, now we have to let it hit 1950 again and then start the timer. And nothing blew up, so that's good. I have just one big ocean violation, right? Sorry. No fire though. What's up, Donnie? Doing one of them long, boring ass heat treat days. You missed my catastrophe when I added my dry ice. I cut the bag open, but there was a hole in it too that I didn't see. When I picked it up, it all dumped in at one time and boiled over. Oh, it was a damn mess. Oh, he was here? I'm sure he was laughing at me. I would have laughed at me too. It's pretty funny shit. I've never claimed these videos are tutorials. Maybe a don't do it this way type video. Pom Pom. Hey, yo, it's John. Well, all right, John. Pom Pom or whoever it is. This is the part I hate. Waiting on it to reach temperature again. It just seems like it takes forever. I mean, it's probably 5-10 minutes, but considering each batch is 30 minutes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3 hours right there I've got, and that's not counting ramp up times or anything. Just 3 hours of austenitizing. Then you add the ramp up times, you might as well say it's going to be 6 hours. And that's before I even start the I forgot the word. Now I still can't remember it. Where I put them in the oven at 300 degrees. Help me out, Donnie. What's the word I'm looking for? We lost 200 degrees just opening it for that short amount of time. That's awesome, Donnie. My Doers is a Harbor Freight bucket. So every time I get ready to do a heat treat, I got to spend $30 on dry ice. I'm sure it's a whole lot cheaper in the long run doing it that way, buying the liquid nitrogen. Yeah, it loses temp very fast when you open that door. That box looks fairly big, but that actual chamber, you got to keep in mind that's all lined in 4-inch thick fire brick. The actual chamber is not very big, so you open that door, dude, and that heat just gets sucked right out. I had an insulated 5-gallon bucket, Donnie, and I don't know that it made a difference. Like the last time I did this just in a 5-gallon bucket, I still had solid pieces of dry ice like 3 hours later. So I just noticed I got a big old jar of talc back there. I forgot I bought talc, but I haven't needed talc. The only time I ever needed it was on that K390. Well, no, it's not, Donnie, because it wastes $30 every time I do this. Doers is definitely the way to go. I'll get one day. I mean, we could just be throwing them in the freezer overnight. Yeah. Yeah, I went above. I think I had to run K390 at 2050, and I had issues with it sticking. So I bought the talc, but I haven't needed it since. So I imagine, guys, that the fact that I got my oven for the price that I did, I guess that's where the savings comes in, is this ramp up time. Because I checked it, it's on the highest setting. Donnie, I remember you telling me to check that. It is on the highest setting, and it holds temperature well, but the ramp up time is just long, and it's a 240. But I guess that's why, that's where the $1,000 savings came in, is a longer ramp up time. I'm not saying I wouldn't recommend the oven. Depends on how much money you've got, what you want to spend. Well, how long does it take yours to get to 1950, Donnie? I thought we talked about this. I thought ours were pretty close to the same. Because I've been live for an hour, and it just hit it at right about the hour mark. So it took an hour for mine to reach 1950. Like Brian and Steve's take like 15 minutes. Oh, 3 hours. Oh shit. Yeah, that's What about between? Oh, you don't really have a between knives, so do you? Like, are you ever heat treating more than one blade in a day? Because that would suck. Like if you had to wait a really long time in between each blade. I'm having to wait longer than I feel like I should. What stinks in here? My fault. Let me turn this thing on. Much better. Also, just remembered, I don't have to worry about a thread of that catching fire. That's not denatured alcohol. I was out of denatured alcohol. That's kerosene. Works the same way, but not nearly as flammable. Well, we're at 1890. Once we hit 1950, we set the timer for 30 minutes. Mill, then service grinder. I could use a mill, but I'm glad I don't need a mill. I get why you do. I have access to a mill, but I'd probably just fuck it up. Oh, I know they high. Hell, them little Chinese tabletop mills, thousands of dollars. Ridiculous. Almost there. 1916. Yeah, I know, Nick. I don't know that I'll ever. I don't think I don't think I have the dexterity to do folders. Like, I can't do tiny precision things. notice it when you're whacking it. Oh, tiny, I get it. I get you. I didn't see your answer, Donnie. Do you ever do multiple blades, heat treat multiple blades in a day? How long does it take you to recover when you take one blade out before the next one actually reaches temperature? $19.39. Yeah. I'm doing the same one, and mine still takes about that long. Yeah, I know how long you leave the door. That's why I grabbed my glove, because I left the door open for an extra couple of seconds because I had to back off. My hand got hot. Yeah, the only thing we're doing is counting down to where I can just go sit in the chair for 30 minutes and wait. So in other words, we're waiting to wait. But at least there's a goal. We're accomplishing something. Get my aluminum blocks ready, make sure all that, of course I still got half an hour. One more degree. And the clock has started. I know most people probably tell you that 1 degree don't matter. I'm wasting seconds or maybe even a few minutes, but when I started this, Donnie can tell you, I was really nervous about doing my own heat treats, and I talked to several experienced heat treat guys about it, and probably one of the most valuable things anybody ever told me was when Alex Steingraber told me that he said, Shane, if you do exactly what I tell you, exactly the way I tell you, your heat treat will be every bit as good as mine. That instilled a lot of confidence in me, but it also made me very OCD about just being particular, exact on temperatures and times and processes and all that good stuff. Now, I would never tell anybody my heat treat's as good as Alex Steingraber's, but my HRCs come out good. And I know most makers would be grinding or doing something else while they're doing this, but I find I can't concentrate on doing something else because I'm worried that I'm going to miss the time, or I just when I do heat treat, I just do heat treat. Yeah, Empty, that's one thing I was shocked by, man. This community or industry, whatever you call it, uh, the majority of the folks in it are very willing to help you any way they can. So, I haven't had anybody deny me information. And I'm sure there's some of those Chinese knife designer YouTube type people that, they're probably not excited about giving you their contacts. I'm talking about actual makers. I wish y'all could see the wine fest that's going on right now in the YouTube Knife Homies. That's the chat group that all your favorite content creators are in. I'm not in there. They won't allow that. I was, and I left, but they'd never let me come back. But it's humorous to read the shit that they type, acting like they put years of blood, sweat, and tears and their life savings into this knife business that they started. And now they're realizing they have no control over their own, air quotes, business. Because they never had a business. They were a Chinese marketing company. That's the only business they've been in. Donnie, approximately how many milligrams of THC do you consume on heat treat day? I bet that's a smoke fest, ain't it? Because I can't picture you just sitting there, going out of your mind. This camera angle, I sure do look fat. I weighed the other day, I'm down to 260 pounds. Still a fat ass though. I bet you do. I can see you sitting in front of the oven just fucking burning it down. All of the THC. That's funny. This live, I'm going to stay live long enough to do the quench on this first. And then it's just kind of repetitive after that. We've probably got another 35, 40 minutes. We're like 24 minutes of austenitization, however you say it. I wouldn't have enough phone battery to record the whole process. Family Lee, hello everyone. Hello Family Lee. I know it doesn't look like it, but we're heat treating knives. I come over here and sat down because my health isn't great, so I have to sit down. But they're in the oven, probably turning red hot right about now. If you hang around long enough, we're going to take them out and quench them. It's not like that oil quench though, where you get to see the fire. These are high-end steels. You quench them between two aluminum plates. I still smell like kerosene. I don't know why I kept thinking that was DNA. Well, denaturized alcohol don't smell like alcohol either. That could have been bad if it had been alcohol, actually. Just the heat from that oven might have ignited it. The problem is it burns clear. You can't see the fire. We're dying down. Folks are leaving, and I don't blame them. Probably not entertaining watching me sit here in a chair. But I get it. I really just do this, give you guys somewhere to meet up, chit chat, shoot shit. Baddest outlaw. What are you working on, Dad? Are you at work or are you working on something? I see you're around in the chats a good bit. I always wonder what everybody in here does. Like, you know, do you work full-time jobs, or you piddle, you have a hobby? That was my wife texting and asked me if I tried those weird eggs yet. I still got those goose and turkey eggs at the house. I don't know why, I've been a little apprehensive about it. I mean, I eat duck eggs, but they're just, I don't know, man, they're so big, they're almost intimidating. Can you imagine cracking one end open and a little half-formed turkey falls out in your skillet? Ah! I know the odds of that are very slim. Most people pick them up daily, or at least every couple of days. But I did that when I was a kid. Just had to go out and gather chicken eggs, and our chickens were free range, man. They were everywhere. But most of them stayed down in the hay barn. They build nests in the hay. And I found a nest I'd never seen before. And I thought I hit the jackpot, because usually I'll find one egg. Well, that's what you want to find, because they haven't laid enough yet to sit on them and incubate them. I found a whole nest. I thought, man, I've hit the jackpot. So I gathered them up, brought them in. My stepmom cracked that thing, and a little half-formed chicken fell out and hit the skillet. She went to throw it up, mad at me. Hell, I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. I didn't know any better. I'm a procurement specialist for a nationwide garage door company, so I work from home dealing with the logistics of ordering and getting stuff to and from. I got you. That's interesting. I think it's really cool that people can work from home now. I will, Empty. I just been a little apprehensive about it. I tried something the other day that I didn't enjoy. I fried some duck eggs, and instead of using butter, I used beef tallow. Just a little bit. It's amazing how small a chunk of beef tallow you can put in the skillet, and it'll coat the whole thing. And it changed the taste of the eggs a little too much. The beef tallow, I don't know. I don't think I'd do that again. Yeah, Empty, I'm aware. I was in the Navy. I never did that. And Donnie, I tried what we were talking about if you're still here. I went to my local butcher and got he cut a pound of fat right off of a ribeye for me. Rob brought it home, cut it up into little, maybe half-inch square strips and fried it up. One bite of it was okay, but it does not replace a steak. But it'd be cool to have that on the side of a steak, you know, just so I know I got the right lean meat fat ratio. But just the fat by itself wasn't, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't that it was too rich. It's just that, you know, there needs to be a balance. You need that little bit of red meat attached to it to give it the right flavor. So something was missing. So I'm just going to use the rest of it. I got a bunch left. I'm going to use the rest of it. I'm going to render it down into more tallow. I don't know what I'm going to use the tallow for. Really, the only thing I ever fry is eggs, and I've already decided I don't like eggs fried in beef tallow. Empty, I'm sure it would be better on the grill, but still, it still needs that little bit of red meat to go with it. Like I said, the first bite I took, it was tasty, but it's not something like, your body just knows you shouldn't just consume 8 ounces of it. So my dog will be super happy. I'll render it down. Feed her the cooked fat. She'll enjoy that. Here I am talking about my heart problems. Just skillet frying ribeye fat. It's not like it was something I was going to add to my diet. I just wanted to try it. Cooked eggs in a homemade marinara. That sounds interesting, Dick. It doesn't sound appetizing to me, but I could be completely wrong. Sure would have been a good day to go sight that new scope in. But I got shit to do. I don't know about an egg on a pizza, dog. I think I'm gonna pass there. I enjoy an egg on a hamburger. Egg on a pizza seems, I don't know, don't sound right. And I would imagine if you just cracked an egg on a pizza, it would probably taste, I don't think it would taste like a fried egg. I think it would taste closer to a poached egg. Because you'd literally be broiling it. I don't know. "13 minutes. Let me start the process all over again." At least empties will be done. That's the most important knife in that batch. I gotta get that thing. It and Mad Yoko's. I gotta get those done. Yeah, it's probably better than Omaha barbecue. You're probably right. Hey, what do they typically use for the sauce on a breakfast pizza? I've never tried a breakfast pizza, but I've always wondered, what is the sauce? There's a live Tempest Knives commercial on. I mean, KC is live. Don't be picking on KC. I want to bad, but I know it's punching down. Oh, they use gravy? That makes sense. I mean, Mo, that's all that live stream's been for a year. And I'm telling you, if you could read how whiny that dude is in the YouTube Knife Bros chat, like, I'm embarrassed for him. Like, there's no way I could ever watch a live stream with him in it ever again. Not after knowing how whiny he is and him talking about how easy it is to get his viewers' money. Oh, Auntie, you talking about a Hunts Brothers, ain't you? It's crazy that you can go to 10 different gas stations and buy a slice of pepperoni Hunts Brothers pizza, and you will get 10 completely different pieces of pizza. Like, I've been to some that literally, well, the one a block from my house, a lady named Liz worked there, and I'd rather have that pizza than any other pizza out there. It was that good. And then she quit, but she had some health issues, had to retire. And the girl that took her place, it tastes like she wiped it on the inside of the dumpster. We got a Casey's. Does Casey's make their own, or is it Hunts Brothers? White cheese pizza. It is pretty tasty. But I'm a big fan of marinara. You know, last time I went to Dairy Queen, it was garbage, so I hope yours is better. Oh, they make their own. Every time I go to a Pilot gas station, I see that pizza and I want a piece of it. And every time I buy it, 2 bites in, I remind myself when I said I was. It's not nasty. It's just not. It's not even as good as Hunts Brothers. Oh wow, Mimo. I'm just in a little town of 35,000. We've probably got 10 Mexican restaurants. Nick, I thought y'all did wings pretty good too. Ain't that where wings started in Buffalo? About 6,000. I won a wing eating contest 2 years in a row. Y'all heard this story. But ever since then, I don't know, man. Every time I eat a hot wing, I get just a little hint of that nauseating feeling I had for like 8 days after that contest. It ruined hot wings for me. It's stupid how expensive wings have gotten. I remember when I was a kid, dude, you could buy a whole flat of wings for nearly nothing. And that wasn't just because everything was cheaper back then, but like, they had to damn near give wings away because nobody would buy them. Supply and demand, though. Buffalo made them popular. Now their chicken wings cost more than a chicken breast. Yeah, all the wing restaurants around here now, dude, they're like that big. We used to have a Struts, and they had big monster wings. And they were never like hard, or the skin never got stabby. They were perfect, man. They closed, and somebody bought them out, and now the wings are half the size, and they're kind of crunchy. I don't know. I'm moistening the wings with hot sauce. Just shake them there, southern crispy, then in the air fryer. Yeah, you can about make wings in the air fryer at home now better than what you can buy. Keanu Reeves is here. Hell yeah. Man, if I was Keanu Reeves and I had like $250 million, that's exactly what I'd do. Sit around and watch some old, ugly, fat guy sit in a recliner waiting on a heat treat oven to go off. But hi, Keanu. Big fan. Yeah, it is better for you. 6 minutes, guys. That's what we got, 6 minutes. I'll take a part in the new John Wick. I could just be some that guy who shoots in the head. It doesn't taste the same, Nick. The best air fryer wings I've ever eaten, my daughter makes. And she literally mixes Texas Pete and ranch 50-50, stirs it up in a bowl, cooks the wings till they're about 4 minutes from done, then bastes them all in that, puts them back in the air fryer, finishes off that 4 minutes, and it kind of caramelizes that on there. And I'm not a fan of ranch, but I wouldn't call them buffalo wings because they don't taste like buffalo, but it is the best tasting piece of chicken I've ever eaten. Yeah, I want to see Ballerina. I'm a big fan of that chick, though. What's her name? Anna de Armas? Yeah. Remember, she was in that John Wick movie where he slept with them two young girls. They set him up and ruined his life. I went and seen the new Accountant. It was pretty good. They added a little bit of unnecessary humor. I thought it kind of took the dark edge off the movie, and maybe they wanted to do that. Still thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I would watch it again, but not as good as the first. But whatever it is as good as the first. Mine and Milton, I'm extremely comfortable. Got that big fan blowing back behind me. Nice cool breeze. I got 3.5 minutes before I go take these knives out of one knife out of the oven. Then I gotta wait until the second one reaches temperature again before I take it out. I don't remember her in the second one. And like I said, I'm a big fan of that chick. Yeah, you're right. It's all new. You know, like discovering that he was autistic, and that's kind of what led to him being a badass. That was all the best part of the movie. In the second one, you already know that. They kind of play with his autism a little bit to make it a little humorous. I just didn't think it hit the same. Yeah, he's still into art. And Anna Kendrick's not in it either. I'm a big fan of Anna Kendrick too. I like that thing on Facebook that's talking about, the zombie apocalypse is coming. Pick your team. You pick like 2 out of 10 people, and it's always Christian Wolf is one, John Wick's one, Jason Bourne, the Equalizer, Denzel Washington. A fellow Medford fan. I'm a Medford fan, might have moved. All right, I got enough time. I'm gonna get up and go get my gloves on. We're finna see some red hot steel. The only problem with that recliner, it's so cushy and it tilts back so far. It can be hard to get out of. Heater. He bought it for Meathead's elderly mother-in-law. She would get in it, get scooted back and get comfortable, couldn't get out. Stay out of it, get to work. Meathead, I am working. This is that process, all I can do is wait. Hurry up and wait. It's already back to 1930. You're wondering why you can't just take the second one out immediately, because it has reached 1950. The point is, you have to, the oxidization happens when the temperature drops from 1950 to about, I think it's like 700-800 degrees. So if I took it out right now at 1930 and quenched it, I wouldn't get as good a heat treat. That's what it looks like out of the oven. Here's the cryo it goes. It's like a witch's cauldron in there, still boiling. It's almost back. A couple more minutes, we'll be able to take that one out. Where's some heat coming off that thing? Alright, here we go. Now we gotta wait on oven to come back up to temp. Of course, we lost 200 degrees. Then we'll start the timer over again. That's 2 done. Yeah, it's not just that 20 degrees matters, Nick. It's not just that the steel reached 1950 degrees. What's even just as important is that it was 1950 degrees when you quenched it. So if you let it get down to 1930 before you quench it, yes, it will affect your HRC. It will affect your heat treat. It'll affect your grain structure. And this is why you don't get as good a heat treat in an industry setting. They just don't have time. They can't afford to be that picky with it. I'm that picky with it because Alex Steingraber told me if I do it exactly like he just says, I will have excellent heat treats. So I'm not going to do something to chance ruining that. Yeah, even after I take that first one out, even though it just dropped down to like 1920 something, I have to leave that second one in there till it gets back up to 1950. So it's as close to 1950 degrees as possible when it goes in those quench plates. What's up, Cheeto? I do not have my Cheeto shirt on today because I'm not running that thing. I gotta save it to look good at Blade Show. Cheeto Bandito will be represented for the Atlanta Blade Show. We're just now back up to 1800 degrees. This is why it's an all-day event. Waiting on the oven. I made this knife here a while back and do not like it. But it's because the blade to handle ratio is off. The blade's nice. It's small. But I'm going to shorten this handle. A good deal, actually. Probably going to come to about there. Only problem is, yeah, I'm going to take that off too. That doesn't need to be there. We can do that while we're waiting. Otherwise, this knife is a waste. Let me cut it off with the, I don't want to grind all of that off. Cut that with the angle grinder first. right, all right, all right. That's better. I mean, don't get me wrong. Had I started all over again, I would have redesigned the handle altogether. And I may still take this out. I don't think I like it on this particular knife. Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't like it. That's better. That definitely feels better in hand. I'll put some scales on that one, do something with it. As you guys can see, if you can see, I don't know, we're at 1927. We hit 1950, we start the timer over again. I can let this run if y'all want to. If you're getting bored with it, I mean, I guess if y'all got bored, you just leave. But if y'all want me to keep it going, it's up to y'all. We do the same stuff over and over. I set this timer, you got 30 minutes of me sitting in a chair waiting. Who needs a little 3-inch fixed blade? 3-inch blade. Nice, tall, flat grind. Anybody? I'll get it done. Put it up for sale. Had to be cheap. I did this hole because I wanted to do a knife with a hole in it just to test out doing my kydex retention in the hole. So I'll make a sheath for that too. Spyderco's gonna come after me. Sal better leave me the hell alone. I've been singing that company's praises for years. That's not a production knife anyway. Hey there, brown sugar. I'm waiting. I'm gonna get the blower and blow all this epoxy dust off the table. Since the fan's on, that'll assist it getting out the back door. This is how you clean a shop now. Little Milwaukee leaf blower is the best way to clean your shop, especially if you got a fan to keep that draft going. I remember a time when I was the one with all the tools. Now Meathead's got all the nice shit. 1950, we're there. All right, let's start the timer. All right, guys, we got 30 minutes. And I've still got, counting the 2 in the oven now, I've at least got 8 more to go, so I got to do this 4 more times. I clearly need glasses at this point, but I have a hard time walking with them on. Like, it messes up my peripheral vision, my depth perception, and like when I'm driving, you know, when I look to check for traffic, I don't know, it just messes with my vision having glasses on. It's like, you know, looking straight ahead, reading or whatever is great. It doesn't make things blurry, it just, I don't know, the frames obstruct my vision. Marco, did you leave and come back? Remember me? I do remember you, Braden. You were here earlier. I don't know if you missed it. We just took the the red hot knife steels out of the oven and quench them. It's really, people have hung around for well over 2 hours just for that. That's weird, my timer reset. It shows I've only been live for 23 minutes. I know it's been over 2 hours. Yeah, you can back up and see it. When I take them out of the oven, they're in a foil pack, but you can see the knife through the foil pack. It's glowing inside there. It's probably like 10 minutes ago. Easy to tell because I'm not sitting in this chair. That's really the only cool part of watching heat treat. All the rest of it's just waiting. But I'll be here all day. To get done what I've got to get done. I'd really like to do those magna cuts too. Gosh, that'd take another 2.5 hours. As long as I feel good, I'll hang out and do it. Y'all see Meathead's supercharged Harley Davidson F-150? Think about putting a supercharged Coyote motor in that thing. Right now I was a mechanic for 25 years. I was in the military before that. I was a construction electrician in the military. And I was a mechanic. And I worked for a car lot for a little while. Not doing mechanic work. I did some sales, but I did mostly like fixing the cars before we sold them. And now I just do this on the side. I make knives. I go live because I'm out here in this shop by myself. I get lonely. I go live more for me than I do for you guys, really. Because if not, I'd just be sitting here bored out of my mind waiting on that oven. Meathead, you throw this chair away, we're gonna fight. I'm pretty confident I can't take you no more. But I'll squeeze you nuts or bite your ear off or something. That's because you weren't here for the quench 10 minutes ago. That's quenching steel. You're just too busy running a successful business to pay attention to what I'm doing. We've had this discussion. I don't work on other shit while stuff's in the oven. You guys don't understand, like if the power went out right now, I'd just be out $500. Even if it came back on. It's not worth the time it takes to re-anneal the steel, start the heat treat all over again. You might as well just throw it away. So that's why I don't do anything else. I just wait on this clock to tick down. And you know as well as I do, this recliner is the best thing you've ever put in the shop. Yeah, Braden, I'm pretty old, buddy. I turned 54 2 weeks ago. All I got for my birthday was a pair of socks and a piece of ass, and they're both too big. Man, I'm kind of hoping to get out of here before 5. The gun guy called me earlier. I ain't had a chance to call him back. But I'm assuming your gun's probably done. El Cap, are you flirting with me again? Huh. We got an El Cap in the community. It's in here a lot. I don't know if That's the same guy. It's not the same name, but it's close. Got a pair of coveralls with pockets cut out. I can only imagine what somebody thinks if they're scrolling through their shorts feed, come across this live, and it's just some dirty old fat man sitting in a chair talking to his phone. Especially when the title says we're heat treating. We are heat treating knives, though. If me had allowed me to move my chair over there, I could get the oven in the background. Well, you're El Capo. We've got an El Cap addict in the knife community. He's in a lot of these live streams. Not my chair, buddy. You'll have to answer to Steph over that one. I mean, I could just drag it over there and put it back when I'm done. But not like it would make this any more riveting. Hey, did you get that, whatever it was that old guy dropped off the other day, man? I met him outside, but I told him to go ahead and text you because I knew I'd forget. He dropped something off for you. Did you get it? Probably not even in here anymore. Older guy, yeah. Yeah, kind of busted up. I just say that because he's, you know, he walked like he's a little busted up. Hey, bud, how's the Glock switches production coming along? I don't make gun parts. I just make fixed blade knives. I like guns. There's a evil black rifle right there on the table. Yeah, you left to check. Did you? I was just making sure you got it. Teabag meathead chair. I am kind of teabagging it. My balls are in it right now. I don't know why anybody want to switch on a Glock. Nobody ever hits shit with them things. When I was in the military, we still had the M16A1s. It was fully automatic. And they let us empty one magazine on full auto just to prove to us that it's good for nothing. It's an absolute waste of ammunition. You can't hit shit. Sounds cool for about 6 seconds. I agree there, LK. I'm not going to say Glocks suck. I appreciate Glocks because they are a quality firearm. But I extremely dislike them. I just don't like the way they feel. Here comes the FUDs. Call 1911 people what you want. Those are damn fine pistols. And the best pistols on the market right now are still 1911s. They just added another number to it, made it a double stack. I respect a Glock. I just wouldn't own one. They don't feel good at all in my hand. The grip angle's all wrong. Just don't work for me. In my opinion, you're going to buy one pistol. It would not be a Glock for sure. I'd get a CZ Shadow 2. I don't think, for the money, I don't think there's a better pistol on the market. Same grip angles on 1911. Ruger RXM? I don't think so. I do like that new Smith & Wesson Smith & Wesson's new 2.0. Forget what it's called. It's their bougie version of the 2.0. It's like $1,500 though. All my rifles are Rugers. Got a Ruger American 22, a Ruger American 308, Ruger 1022. That rifle over there is not a Ruger. That's a hodgepodge. There's some Daniel Defense parts, a little bit of everything. Yeah, Breeze, my PC carbine's a Spikes Tactical AR9. I don't have them here, HMG. I can show that sitting back there, but if I touched it during this live, YouTube would shut this live stream down and probably shut my channel down. You can show guns in videos. You cannot show them in a live stream. Well, you can show them. They can be in the background. You can't handle them in a live stream. My guns aren't here. I mean, that one's fine. It's here. I just had that 6-hour LPVO put on it. And I picked it up on the way to the shop. That's the only reason it's here. Yeah, if you make content, HMG, don't ever handle a firearm on a live stream. That'll cost you your channel with a quickness. Breezy, I like the concept of the Chris Vector. They're just so damn heavy for what they are. That's a heavy ass carbine, man. And that's kind of the point of a carbine, isn't it? To have something lighter than your battle rifle. Somebody here was shot yesterday with a starter pistol. Police think it's race related. That's a good one, buddy. You can always count on me, Mo. Ryan, they don't go live and handle firearms. Like, I could make a video handling a firearm, reviewing a firearm, but I have to upload it and check the box that there's a firearm in the video, and then YouTube will review it and decide if they want to allow it to be up or not. If you do it live, where they don't have a chance to look at it first, they'll shut your ass down. Mark, I am dipping Grizzly Wintergreen Long Cut. Yeah, Ryan, I posted a video one time as a short, and I got the footage off of YouTube. So it had been approved to be on YouTube. But I posted it as a short, so it went up instantly. So they didn't have a chance to review it. It did have violent content, and I got a channel strike over that. Over a video I got from YouTube. Right. You can't hold a gun at all during a live stream. And I'm not saying you won't see it, you will. There are some really small channels that have done it and gotten away with it. I've seen it. Even happened on my channel one time as a guest. But yeah, you don't want to get caught. You hear the Colorado law. I don't know what that is. You can't get flavored dip like wintergreen. You can't even get wintergreen. Mimo, I don't know why you can't hold one live, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. Yeah, no detachable mags. They got that new 5.7 though that doesn't even have a mag. It loads with a stripper clip. That might be a good California option. Suicide, yeah. That's a word you can't say on here. You got me, Mimo. You're gonna get me a strike for that one. Hoping my redneck accent didn't set off the algorithm. You guys hang around for 12 more minutes. You get to see some glowing red knife blades come out of the oven. Yeah. I'll sell them my SKS, take stripper clips. On my 50 round drum. No, but your shirt did. What did my shirt say? Oh, defend the second. These are some of those, you remember when We the People holsters had the 2 for $10 t-shirt sale? It was legit. I got like 10 of them. But they did take a long time to get here. It was at least a month. Yeah, you're right there, Max. I don't know if it'll get me a strike. They certainly don't like freedoms. I'd love to go live and sit and talk about guns and handle guns. It's not as much fun when you're recording it because you're just talking to yourself. They don't allow that. I've wondered if that's why Demolition Ranch shut his channel down. I mean, I have a feeling Mayor had a lot to do with it. Pretty sure his wife was like, hey, that's enough. But I know he was pretty disgruntled about all the new YouTube rules. No, he didn't get demonetized, Shudo. He shut down. Demolition Ranch is no more. At all. He shut down all of it. Demolition Ranch, off the ranch. He's selling the firing range, all that land he just bought. Yeah, Hickok's still around. Hickok's plenty informative. I mean, he wasn't as entertaining as Matt. I like Honest Outlaw. He's never led me astray. Like, anytime I've considered buying a gun, I've looked at what he had to say about it. So far, he's never led me. Never done me wrong. Oh, goodness. And that other gun YouTuber, I forget his name now, he died. Is it Walter something? Died of cancer. Thank you, Mr. Bobo Schnoggins. I appreciate that. I've never got a super chat on a live stream before, or on a vertical live before. I'm not hard working right now. I got 9 minutes. I'm waiting on that oven. If you hang around, you'll get to see me take a couple of blades out of the oven. It'll be nice and glowy orange. I keep thinking it's Walter, but I may be confusing him with Walter Sorrells. Creative Productions. Why does all the cologne at Ross smell like Indian accent? Mimo, you're right. Well, it's not Natty Ice, it's just Natty Light. Let's go see what kind of beer we got in the fridge. It's actually rare that there's any natural light here. Because when Meathead brings a half case over here, he don't put it in the refrigerator, he puts it in the cooler. And it's usually all drank by the time he goes home. Usually if there's beer left in the refrigerator, it's somebody else's. See if there's any beer in this cooler. Ah! There they are. Meathead went weak this time. Let's see if there's any in the fridge. There's a Bush Light in the fridge. A bottle of Jim Beam honey. Those beers in the cooler aren't very cold, so I'm gonna steal this last Bush Light. That's refrigerator perfect. Man, you get stuff ice cold. Since Bobo recommended it, I think I will have a beer. It's amazing the things you people learn. Like Mimo knowing that. I mean, he said natty ice, but close enough. Yeah, I'd rather have natural light than Bush Light. Oh, you ain't kidding, Bobo. We had a bar in town that had one of the best acoustic one-man bands you've ever seen. Albert Simpson, you can look him up on the internet. He's great. He would play on Wednesday and Thursday nights, no cover, and $5 pitchers of Milwaukee's Best Light Draft. We went out every Wednesday and Thursday night, spend 30, 40 bucks. Get shit-faced hammered. Listen to some good old Southern rock music, played live. Chasing promiscuous women. Gone are those days, you're right. Ryan, I told Chris, the guy that owns Blackstone, I was like, Chris, you changing all this stuff, man. You're gonna run off, your faithful crowd. And he's like, that's why I'm doing it. Like, look me right now and tell me that he was changing all that to get rid of people like me and you and Chapel. He's probably making a lot more money now. It's weird how fat I look in this camera angle, dude. My torso looks enormous. I mean, I am fat, but I'm actually lighter right now than I've been in a long time. I made fighting weight. 265 don't sound like much, but the heaviest I've ever been was 384. Four minutes. Who's the one-man band that played guitar and played the music? Drums? Oh, I don't know. Albert just played the guitar. You knew that. It's weird how accurate this camera is. Fuck you, Cheeto. I look like Brian Shaw. I don't know who that is. Isn't Brian Shaw like one of those world's strongest men or something? My favorite Ryan was Chris Posey. I don't think I ever went to the bar when Chris Posey was playing and I didn't get laid. Yeah, I thought so. I appreciate that, Max. I used to be a pretty strong guy myself. I had heart surgery 5-6 years ago. It's kind of been all downhill since. I didn't see Eddie Hall versus 2 MMA fighters. Yo, bro. Put that beer up and drop your location. Big Jimbo and the boys want to come see you. Okay. You gonna come all the way to Alabama? Well, Max, I was just saying, I walked around 384 pounds for about 10 years. It just caught up with me, man. After the surgery, I lost over 100 pounds, but it's kind of too late at that point. All right, guys, it's time to quench. Oh, I got you. I'm still suffering side effects of it, like I'm losing my teeth. I didn't know that was a big part of heart issues. One of the first things you lose blood flow to is your jawline. I can tell you right now, I'd probably be dead already if it wasn't for this. This knife making is the only thing that's got me off my ass and doing something. And I don't do it enough. In case you're wondering, there's no knife there. The knife isn't in between the aluminum. Really, when you think about it, heat treating and quenching, kind of like the game red light, green light. When it's in that oven at 1950 degrees, molecules are all moving around and meshing together and creating carbides. And then when you take it out and you quench it, everything just freezes in time. It all just comes to a screeching halt. And that steel's under an immense amount of pressure. That's why if you drop it, it'll break. And then after the cryo, when you temper it, it relieves all that stress. That's how you end up with a knife blade. that's what it looks like. How pretty that is. Into the cryo it goes. So now, it went from 1950 degrees to a couple hundred degrees. All those molecules stopped. Now that it's in cryo, it's kind of relaxing them and removing any retained austenites. Converting them into martensite. But I don't want to sound like Larry Thomas. Max, I wouldn't have a chance anymore, buddy. And we all like to talk about what we were at one point in time, and Meathead, the guy that owns this shop, has seen me working underneath the Z71 and pushing up on a breaker bar so hard I lifted the truck up off the rack. I did used to be very strong. But since that heart surgery, man, think about it, they split your rib cage in half. You're never going to be the same. You know, first of all, you know, a lot of your core strength comes within your pecs. They cut that in half, even though it grows back together. It's never the same. Never going to be as big and strong as you were. I've just accepted it at this point. Now, for those of you who weren't here before, there's another knife in there. The reason why it's still in there is because both of them were at 1950 degrees. I took one out and quenched it, but because I opened that door, that temperature drops. That means the knife in there, the temperature of that steel dropped. I want it to go back to 1950 before I quench it again. Because it's not just it getting to 1950. You want it as close to 1950 degrees as possible when you go from here to the quench. So if I had quenched that first one and then just quenched the second one, is it like 1930? That second one wouldn't have as good a heat treat as the first one did. And I'm not excellent at refinement and making knives, you know, perfect and beautiful. I hope to be one day, but I'm not right now. So right now, I'm just pouring my passion into making a knife in as good a steel as you can buy anywhere. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Cheeto. And also, unfortunately, out of that 120 pounds I've lost over the last 10 years, a lot of that was muscle. After the heart surgery and being laid up for so long, the VA didn't send me to rehab. Should have, but they didn't. Because I never rehabbed, I had severe muscle atrophy. My body just ate my muscle mass. I used to have tree trunk thighs, man, just solid as a rock. Now, well, it's hard to see. I got some little skinny legs now. And if your legs ain't strong, you ain't strong. All right, we're back to 1950. I don't know if y'all saw that. Apparently there was some oil from my skin or something on that foil. As soon as I put it in the oven, it ignited. I don't know if y'all got to see that or not. There's a little fire in there. You know, it's not hard to burn anything up to 2003. That one is done. As far as that pattern you get, you never know what you're going to get. Some of them have just this beautiful blue and purple and gold rainbow all throughout the blade. Some of them just get a spot here and there. It doesn't mean anything as far as the quality of the heat treat. It just, it's more than likely has to do with residues on the blade itself when it was put in there. What do I do with my beer? I done lost my bush light, y'all. That would have been one way to get some beer cold, though. You put them in that bucket right there with that dry ice. You can see how cold the bucket is. Look at the ice forming around the bottom of it. That's cold. For my buddies that are in here all the time, they watch me do this every day. Set something down, then spend an hour trying to figure out what I did with it. This is a huge part of my life, trying to figure out what I did with shit. Ain't no problem, Dad. It's just, it's all I can do. This is not exactly riveting content. And that beer just disappeared. That's crazy. Did you guys see where I said it? It's fun to watch the struggle. Thanks, Cheeto. I've been telling people for years, Cheeto, you're an asshole. Everybody thinks you're a nice guy. I mean, I love you because you're an asshole. But one of these days, people are going to see. They're going to see the Cheeto that I know. That's the smart-ass Cheeto. But that is unbelievable, man. That beer just up and grew legs. Huh. I'm gonna cool these plates off. We got any dry ice left? Oh yeah. Now we gotta wait till the oven hits 1950 again. Start the timer. I didn't even give a shit about that last sip of beer, but that's driving me crazy. What I could have done with it. I got up from over here. I know I carried it over there with me. There's only so many places I could have sat it. And nobody's gonna comment about where I set it. I stopped right here to put my gloves on. Hey, for those of you who haven't been here before, let me show you what I'm making. I guess that would be interesting to see. This one's not finished, but this is my Thug. It's a little 7-inch pocket fixed blade. That's primarily what I'm making today. I've got some custom orders in there too. I'm sure y'all seen when I show them, when I take them out of the oven, they don't all look like that. But that's the majority of what I'm heat treating today are those. Damn it, dude, this makes no sense. That beer is just gone. Huh. I set it down near the easy chair. I think that's my spit bottle, Cheeto. It would have been from the time I got up from the chair, because I carried it over there with me. I remember taking a drink of it about the time I got to the work table. I did check the trash. Well, I didn't check this trash can. Did I finish it and throw it away? Just don't remember it. Like I said, I really don't care. It's just driving me nuts. I did. Thanks, Knife Sir Life. That would have drove me nuts. The one that looks like a straight razor. I haven't made a little, well, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I got one that looks like a utility razor blade. I call it the Goon, but I don't have one here. I made one that kind of looks like a Spanish razor, but that's a huge knife. That's a big one. Yeah, the Joke Wolf was a one-time thing. There's only a handful of people going to have those. Good job, Ryan. That's my Thug. That's been my best seller as of yet. All right, where are we at on temperature? 1911, good number. But I really do not remember throwing that beer in the garbage. I guess that's what I get for running my mouth. Can't remember what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not sure if there are any Joke Wolves left. I'd have to get with Kyle. He's got my books. He's got it all wrote down. I'm pretty sure they've all sold. If there's a Joke Wolf left, there's only one. There's only made 6 of those. And, you know, people have asked me why don't I make more, but I just think the Thug's a lot better looking knife, and they kind of serve the same purpose. I like this much better. Won't get me a mile of walking in today just inside the shop. That's good though. I could use it. My timer reset. Only I'm not home to retrieve it. What? Oh, good for you, Ryan. Ryan got him a ABW slip joint. I'll own another one of these days. I don't regret selling it. I mean, for the cause. I would have never sold it just to get rid of it, but it was for a good cause. Get fit. I need to get fit, Cheeto. I have spent entirely too much time in bed the last month to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. Entirely too much. I was doing much better last year. I know y'all remember last summer. I was out here till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at nights working, and I don't know what happened, man. Yeah, you can reach out in the DMs, Daddies, but I don't mind saying in public. I've got 15 Thugs in the making. 5 of them are in crew wear. And those are going to run 250. And then I've got 10 in Nitro V that are going to run 180. And none of the ones I'm making right now, well, I think one of the ones I'm making right now is spoke. One of the crew wear ones is spoken for. But yeah, so there's opportunities to snatch one of those up before somebody gets it. See what that temperature's at. Yeah, we're there. We'll start the timer. I think it is. I mean, I'm not making a whole lot of money at that price, but I think for something handmade, with a really good heat treat, I think it's worth it. And I'm trying to play around with some different steels. I'm about to make a slightly larger Thug for Paul Mills and S125V. So that'll be interesting. That one's going to run a few dollars more just because I can only get one knife out of that bar, and it's not cheap. A little over $90 just for a stick of steel before you can do anything to it. Yeah, Cheeto, you're right. I did go fishing, and that fishing trip kind of opened my eyes, man. We were out all night. I was on my feet the entire time. I walked more than I even thought I was capable of, and I had a great time. And ever since then, it's really been on my mind that there's no reason for me to not be out doing things. especially having all these knives here, waiting on heat treat. Like, I was planning to heat treat tomorrow. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, which is very strange. And I woke up kind of wide awake, you know, like feeling rested. And thought, man, there's no reason not to go do that heat treat today. There's no reason, because I might try to put it off till tomorrow, and then tomorrow not wake up till noon and think it's too late, and just keep pushing that date further and further ahead, because that's what I've been guilty of doing in the past. So I just came and got at it. I posted a picture that is not long on my Instagram, I think, about a 4.5 pound largemouth caught up at Lake Gunnersville. Not no record or anything, but I hadn't been fishing in probably 4 or 5 years. So to catch one I could get my fist in his mouth, that was pretty fun. What's up there, Russ Catcher? Been fishing for trout. Is trout fishing harder than bass fishing, Cheeto? I mean, bass fishing is really not all that hard. Nemo. I don't know why I still read your comments thinking you're being serious. It's always a dad joke. That one earlier was one of your best. Summer steelhead. No, I think I'm doing it wrong. That's hard to admit. Hard for a man to admit that he's fishing wrong. Well, we've been throwing chatterbaits all night. Yeah, it was just pitch dark, so we figured a reaction bait. Then I switched to a Cinco, you know, just a hook and a rubber worm, no weight, no noise. It was the same color as the water. I have no idea how they see it, but I got several bites, caught several fish off that. You know, you may not be doing it wrong, dude. 90% of fishing is figuring out where the fish are. You know, because they're constantly migrating around the lake, different depths, off ledges, whatever. And if you're not there constantly to pattern them, it's hard to keep up with them. It's hard to keep up with where they're at. I'm a firm believer that if you know where they're at, if you catch them on one bait, you can catch them on 10 other baits. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. If you can't catch a fish on a rooster tail, maybe you are doing it. Rooster tail in the south is like, people who fish rooster tails don't care what they catch, they just want to catch. Because it catches more fish than anything down here. Like, you'll always catch something on a rooster tail. Maybe a brim, maybe a crappie, a bass, a stripe, who knows? The rooster tail usually get them. So I don't think you're doing it wrong. I think you're just, the fish weren't where you were at. Some bitch ass Cali trouts. Did you figure out if you're coming to Anderson this year or not? I promise I'm not going to abduct you. I at least want to go have lunch with you. MTS going. Same thing we was doing 2 hours ago. Just heat treating some blades. He's on cocaine. Who's on cocaine? Me? Oh, it just looks like I'm on cocaine. We covered that earlier, actually. It's on the front of my shirt looks like. Looks like Scarface. I'm still waiting for my manager to figure out the schedule for the bus builds. They haven't been built in Alabama, Canada, and Missouri. It's up to him where he sends me. I got you. I've tried cocaine there, English 1121. I wasn't a fan. And then I told somebody that, and they were like, oh, well, that shit wasn't no good. Try this. And I told somebody about those first 2 times not having any effect on me. I was like, oh, that must not have any good stuff. Try this. I just think I'm immune to it or something. What's up there, Snapster13? Who the fuck are you? Wilford Morris. I'm Edgy American Blades. And I'm heat treating some ice right now. Actually, I'm sitting in a recliner waiting on the oven to heat treat the knives. But Wilford, I feel like you came in a little strong, man. Could have said hi first or something. Let's have a look around. Let me give you that Google 360 cam. See, over here's the front door. Somewhere. There's a pew-pew on the table. There's the Polaris. There's the 100-mile-an-hour bass boat. And there's my workstation over in that corner, where I currently have the knives soaking at 1950 degrees. I am from Alabama. If you're from England, we just have shit like that laying around down here. You have an exam on Sunday? Well, good luck with that, man. It is an AR, yes, sir. It's not a particular brand. It's a custom build. It's Daniel Defense and LaRue and some other companies. I can show it to you. I can't touch it. That's YouTube rules. You can't touch or handle a firearm on a live stream. But I can take you over and look at it. It's just got a rattle can paint job because that's what I did in the military. It's what we all did. We weren't about all that fancy, smancy Saratoga bullshit. That's a Daniel Defense upper, LaRue trigger, 6-hour LPVO scope. I like this foregrip because I can store batteries for my other attachments inside there. The only thing that's not on it right now is the suppressor. I'm currently waiting on the ATF to approve my suppressor. Oh, I didn't touch it. That's not my favorite though. I've got a Spikes Tactical AR 9mm with an 8-inch barrel. That's by far my favorite. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Empty had a family member apply for one and got it, what, within 48 hours? I've been waiting 6 months. We all thought Trump was going to abolish that bullshit. He ain't done it yet. Andy, I haven't been waiting as long as my tax stamp because you've been waiting on your gear from SOE though. So that's one way of looking at it. Ouch. I didn't mean to get personal on you, buddy. I'm sorry. I get that, some of that shit he has to sit down and make custom. I get the weight, and I kind of get the fact, you're telling customers, fucking weight on it or do without. But man, at a certain point, it doesn't just look bad, it looks crooked. I'm in Alabama, English. MJ, I forgot, what state are you in again? Oh, you're in Texas? If you're in Texas, firearms shouldn't even elicit a response from you. Missouri, that's right. Misery. Oh, you were guessing. Yeah, a lot of guns in Texas, but I think Texas just got that reputation. There's a lot of guns everywhere. This country has more firearms than it does people. Because most people, like myself and half empty there in the chat, probably own, I'm not going to give away anything, but I'm pretty positive we both own into the double digits at this point. Oh, some of the builds are in Minnesota. Alabama's in the southeast. Yep, you're right, behind every blade of grass. I used to think this gun culture, us gun people around here, I thought we were kind of an exclusive group. Man, I've run across so many people, doctors, lawyers, you would never imagine that they would be gun people, and they've got $250,000 gun collections. Yeah, Cheeto, you need to get out of California, dude. Yeah, the knives I make now are illegal in England. That's just mind-blowing to me. I read recently that you have to register your kitchen knives. Let's have a look. All right. I don't have a whole lot done at the moment, like completely finished, but most everything I've got done has been shipped out. Like, here's one I've still got to put handles on. This is my most popular model right here. This is what I sell the most of. I still have to sand the handles and stuff. That's my Thug. That's only 7 inches. I don't know if that would be illegal in England or not. Yep, illegal. That's crazy, man. And is that right, what I'm hearing in the news, that you guys have to register your kitchen knives now? Kathleen's back. That seems to be all families now, Kathleen. Seems like everybody's divided over something. But, my guns have never hurt anybody. you been listening and lurking? They have to register their paper straw collection. You have to be over the 16 block. I know Spyderco makes a little knife they sell in England a lot. It's called the UKPK, but it's not a locking blade, and it's either under a 3-inch blade or 2.5. Yes, Stevie, I'm still heat treating, so I'm still on. People are still jumping in. Persian Gulf. I'm familiar with that place. Well, I'm familiar with one little section of sand. Wasn't like I was on vacation. Can't even have pepper spray. But is it safe there though, English? I mean, like, do you need any of that stuff? I've often wondered that, you know. I tell you, as much as I love my guns, if somebody told me, hey man, if you'll trash all your firearms, nobody in the country will ever be shot and killed again, I'd do it. I don't need them that bad. I'd love to see people not. So, see, that may be a good argument there if it's safe. I know I've watched a lot of videos, like, I know there's like a lot of fights outside nightclubs in England. Y'all got kind of a scrappy population over there. But just you, right? I'm just saying, Cheeto, I mean, I'd give mine up. If I could trade my firearms and nobody else, no innocent person for the rest of forever was ever needlessly killed with a gun, I'd do it. But that's a stupid notion that would never happen, so I'll never do it. I mean, that's the same logic that they think, the more we take away, the less deaths there'll be. No, there won't. Bad guy's gonna do bad guy shit. They've been fighting in the womb. I'm taking off my Asian American shirt. Well, that's not near as cool as your shirt anyway. Farting rainbows. Traveler videos are awesome. I would say you will need something to protect yourself, yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, we're just a product of, you know, there's just too many of them now. There's literally nothing you can do to make them go away and make everybody safe. So now everybody has, most people need one. I just want to do hood rat shit. I hear you, Steve. And you know, it hasn't been that long, you know, it hasn't been that long ago that ordinary civilians had to take up arms and defend what was theirs. I mean, it was in your, you know, well, never mind. It hadn't been that long ago. You know, when China took over the Philippines, I'm sure they all wished they all had guns to defend themselves. And I know the likelihood of that happening here is slim, but it's slim because nobody's stupid enough to come here and do that. Guns are for two things: hunting dangerous or delicious animals, keeping the king of England out of your face. You're right. Yeah. 8 minutes, y'all. We'll have another 3 knocked out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish them all today or not. I don't know if I'm going to have enough dry ice. About $28 worth. But I probably wasted some of it with that catastrophe of adding it to. Oh, at 8 minutes we take knives out of the oven. You get to see some glowing hot orange pieces of steel. That's a quote from The Simpsons. Hey, dude, The Simpsons are ever wise. Shutting under normal conditions don't work if it's thin enough and not treated proper. Stuff can be, yeah. Yeah, I'd be mighty upset if one of my knives bent. If it broke, I can understand that. I've told y'all 100 times. You bend my shit, it's gonna break. Yeah, that's the way these heat treat live streams go, English. It's 30 minutes of me sitting in a recliner. And then I go do the interesting part. Yeah, that's understandable. I didn't think I could ship it there, English. Customs sees that shit. 10 minutes looking for a beer that I threw in the garbage. I still don't remember throwing it away. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going on 3.5 hours. Actually, a little longer, getting close to 4. I can't believe you people are still here. Not exactly riveting entertainment. Have you got to drink it in water? Or dunk it in water? No. Now, when you're heat treating high-end steels, like I am, you quench it between 2 aluminum plates. There's no liquid involved. Now, after I quench it, it does go into liquid, into a nitro dip, or cryo dip, I'm sorry. Yeah, that you see where they quench it in oil and it catches fire, those are older high carbon steels. That's a very cool skill to have. It's something that definitely doesn't need to go away, but we're way past all that. But even these guys a lot of these guys in the chat that have these high-end super steels, they all still have an affinity towards the older high carbon stuff. They still own some. I still own some of them. There's a 1095 Ontario Rack 6 over on the table right now. 5 minutes. I think it's usually about once a week I jump on here. It's not always heat treat. Sometimes I'll be on grinding edge bevels or cutting out lengths of steel, grinding them into shapes. Kind of repetitive. Like I was saying earlier, I really do this because I get really lonely and bored sitting here by myself waiting on that oven. So I just turn this camera on and talk to strangers from England. We've had people from all over the world, man. Indonesia, Philippines. What steel is your fishing knife? Cheeto, I haven't done a fishing knife yet. I've thought about that, but that's kind of on the other end of the spectrum for me, making something that's flexible. And I don't know. I wouldn't know where to start. Like, that'd be something I'd have to learn as I went. Even people from Sheboygan. one you keep in your tackle box. Oh man, it's a cheap Walmart. It's probably that what is that steel they use on most kitchen knives and stuff like that? 110, that's one? No, I don't remember. Cold Steel uses it sometimes. But it's tough and flexible, but not VG10. I'd know it if I heard it. The majority of your cheaper kitchen knives are made out of it. And Cold Steel's used it on a few models. I keep wanting to say 5110, but I don't know if that's right. All right. It's time for the fun part. I think this is going to be my last ones too, guys. My ice is melting on my bucket, so I know the temperature is rising. So I'm about to run out of dry ice. So I'll probably have to come back and do the rest of them tomorrow. Last thing I want to do is take a chance of negatively affecting the heat treat. Guys, if you get into heat treating, don't waste your money on tongs. That's a complete waste. Long pair of needle nose pliers. The reason I say that is because the tongs don't grip it as good. Cut that open. And out comes one heat treated thug. Yeah, this is going to be the last batch, guys. I just got a few pebbles of dry ice left in there. I just got to keep that cold long enough for me to get it home so I can start the temper process. So now we're waiting on the oven to hit 1950 again so I can take the second one out. Don't get me wrong, it's still cold. As you can see, there's still a band of ice around the bottom of that bucket. But it's got to stay in cryo till I can get it home. It'll come straight out of cryo and go into temper. That's correct, Kathleen. This is heat treating, not forging. I buy bars of steel, cut them to length, shape them. But this is how most places do it now. Shape them, get my holes drilled, then I heat treat them, cryo dip them, temper them, then I grind my bevels on and apply the handles. This is taking a couple extra minutes because I fumbled taking that first one out, so I had the door open a little too long. It's 2,000 degrees inside that little black box right there. So you open that door, man, that heat drops super fast. Probably not super wise that I've got that fan on, but it's not. I'm getting barely any breeze at all in front of the oven. But it's probably not helping. I'm not going to accomplish near as much as I thought I was today. We're going to have 2 through wears, 5 magna cuts to do this weekend, and then like 10 nitro V blades. And I got a bunch of pricks coming too. I'll do it, Ryan. This is a big property, English, but it's not my property. It's my best friend's. You look out the back door here. It goes up the mountain. You can see that big D9 dozer up there. All that's his. And if we go out the front door, I don't remember how many acres it is here, but it's one great thing about America, dudes. It's completely possible to own a large piece of land. Of course, when he got this, before he built this shop, it wasn't all flat. That's why the D9 dozer's here. He had to work all this land, but this is all out in front of the shop. That spot of gravel out there is where he was going to build his house. But his daughter, turns out, is like a softball phenom. She's trying out for the USA team. And they're going to spend a bunch of money with her doing travel ball and stuff. So instead of building a house until she gets out of college, they're adding this apartment, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, onto the side of the shop. And they're going to live in it till she's out of college. So I don't know if y'all know what travel ball is in England, but these are just kids. 11, 12, 13-year-old kids playing softball and baseball, and you'll spend $30,000, $40,000 a year. Luckily, Meathead has a good job that allows her to do that. But sacrifices have to be made, so no big house yet. already said this the other 2 times, but there's 2 more knives in there. When I took that first one out and quenched it, the temperature of the other 2 knives dropped. It's not just about the knives reaching the right temperature. They have to be at the right temperature when you quench them. So I have to wait until the temperature climbs back up for each blade. Make sure I get a good proper heat treatment. Would it matter? It would be a very minute amount. But like I've stated before, I'm not the best at refinement, making things super fancy. This is the one thing I can do to try to set my knives apart. So I try to be very picky about it. Even as of right now, the temperature on that steel has probably already dropped 700-800 degrees. That aluminum just sucks the heat right out of it. And me blowing air in it helps. In case you're wondering what would happen if I came straight out of this oven and into that cryo bucket, that steel would shatter like a piece of glass. Violently. Because all those carbides are under all that pressure. You apply that freezing cold temperature to it. That's its ugly state after it's been 2,000 degrees. We don't like much, guys. I'm going to do this last one and I'm going to call it a day. I got to go home and temper things now. All right, so my ice is definitely disappearing. So I've got to get these home like right now and get them in temper. Because once you let those molecules stop doing things, they're pretty much done. Like they're just, it's kind of frozen in time. So we're gonna get these home, get them tempered. Oh, maybe he's trying to break the knife. Oh, we got a Cruware heat treat specialist in the house, y'all. All right, guys, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna lock the door. I'm gonna head home and get these bad boys tempered. I appreciate y'all joining me. I'll be back at it this weekend. I still got a bunch left to do. Like I said, I know it's not super exciting entertainment, but I appreciate y'all joining me, guys. Y'all have a good one.